How's it going, everybody? It's Noel here from Symbiote Collectibles, and today we're going to be looking at my top games that I played for the first quarter of 2021. I thought it'd be interesting to kind of look at what I played and what I thought was like good and not good. So we're going to take a look at everything that I played. There are a few games that barely missed the cutoff, and there are some games that I beat at like the 3rd of January, but it still counts. So I have 5 games we're going to look at that I played. And you're going to see why it was only 5 games. But 5 games that I played during the first quarter of 2021. First game we're going to take a look at the Sirus Wrath for the PlayStation 3. This game I was super hyped for because it's made by Capcom, and I liked the graphics, I like the character designs. I think Asura, that guy, looks pretty awesome. And it's like a combination of like cultural art styles and stuff. It looks really cool. I really like the art style, and that's what kind of drove me into it. But the gameplay, it's like a fake it's like a beat 'em up quick time event in gameplay, and that's all it is all the time. And it's not the best. You think it'd be funner, but it's okay. It was interesting enough. The story was interesting enough to get me through, but it was definitely lazy writing. But in lazy gameplay, it wasn't that great, but the art style in and of itself was really, really cool. I ended up beating it. It didn't take too long. It was like 8 hours. But I recommend it for like playing a few levels or something like that. But I doubt, unless you're super into the art style and stuff like that, and the story like I was, I doubt you'll like this game a whole lot. So that was the first game I beat. Well, not the first game I beat. These are the top 5, so I'm ranking them differently. I beat them at different times in the first quarter of 2021, but I am ranking them like on what I like the most. Next game, this game took me forever, and is a part of the reason that I didn't beat that many more games this quarter, and it took up a lot of my time, and I've been working a lot, so like finding the time to play this was already hard enough, but then the game just drug on, took too long. I just beat this game 2 days ago. Digimon Story Sirus Wrath. And the messed up thing is that I didn't even play the Hacker's Memory DLC. I only played the main story. It was like 45 hours. This game is fun. It's good if you're a classic JRPG fan. It is awesome. But the problem is that it goes for far too long. And I understand that a lot of JRPG people don't care. But the issue that I have is that the story is just unnecessarily long. It is ridiculous. There are stupid quests like helping this guy get a girlfriend. So who cares, dude? I'm battling with digital monsters. I don't care about your stupid girlfriend, you know? That's a waste of my time. It's a waste of, and the quests, all the side quests are like that. It's never like super cool, interesting stuff. Even the side quests that involve Digimon, I'm going to go do stuff with Digimon, recycle the same dungeons in the same areas. You're seeing the constant same scenery the whole game, and it gets old fast. So it's just not, they didn't do too much. When it got good, it got good. It was really interesting, but the problem is that it shouldn't have taken 45 hours to get there. It should have taken like 15 to 20. The grinding in this game actually isn't bad. You can grind if you want to, or you can use this thing called a Digifarm. Put your Digimon there and leave your Switch in sleep mode, and it'll grind the Digimon up for you while you're sleeping or at work or whatever. So when you get home, you can Digivolve or de-Digivolve them and, you know, tinker with your team and stuff like that. It's really interesting. They make it accessible. Like, in my opinion, RPGs that do that is a good idea for people like me who work a lot. I wouldn't have time. I still would be playing this game if I had to do every battle and grind this game out, because A, you don't really get that much experience for battles, and if you're having to Digivolve, de-Digivolve, Digivolve, because the thing is that to get your Digimon up to like the higher level evolution, sometimes you have to de-evolve them, level them up, and then get these stats, this specifically ABI stat, higher, so that way you can Digivolve them into a different Digimon. But to do that, you have to get the one you had. You can't Digivolve it because it needs this stat. De-Digivolve it down like 2 forms, level it all the way back up. It takes a minute. But with the Digifarm, like a mechanic, you can throw them in there and they'll level up passively while you're doing other stuff, and it makes it really easy and really accessible to grind. So that part's not too bad. The gameplay's fun. It's just not fun after 45 hours of doing the same stupid quests. This game had a lot of potential. It made me love Digimon. I do like Digimon now. I used to not really care about it, and I played this, and now I love Digimon. I'm buying the cards and all that stuff. It made me really appreciate and love Digimon, so I love the series, and I'm going to buy the next Digimon game, the Digimon Survive or whatever. I'm going to buy it now. But this game just could have done better. I give it like a 6.5 out of 10. It just could have done better. It could have been faster. And if I were to have played the Hacker's Memory DLC for this game, I still would be playing it because it would make my playtime 100 hours. 100 hours. And I'm not doing that. So I give that game a 6.5. Oh, Sirus Wrath, I give a 5 out of 10. So Sirus Wrath, 5 out of 10. Digimon Sword Cyber Sleuth, 6.5. Alright, next game, Super Mario 3D World, Bowser's Fury. I gotta stop saying I say too much. I'll watch these videos back and while I'm recording, and I'll look and I'll see how and it's I need to stop. So anyway, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. This game I give a 8 out of 10. Well, yeah, 8 out of 10. It's just classic Mario. I played a little bit of 3D World on my Wii U. I actually had it was pre-installed on my console. But I wanted to get a physical copy, and this was just perfect because it had the Bowser's Fury and stuff in it too. So I got that too. It is fun. They did a lot of stuff to make the main game fun, the Mario 3D World aspect fun. They made it faster. It plays pretty good. I caught myself killing myself a few times because I wasn't used to the speed up because they sped Mario up to make him run faster and stuff. So sometimes I catch myself overshooting jumps and dying. But for the most part, not bad. It's actually welcome because it makes it faster. Didn't take too long to beat. It was really fun. I had a really fun time. And then the Bowser's Fury portion is like Breath of the Wild and Mario combined. Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, and Mario 3D World combined. It's really fun. I recommend it if you haven't played it before. I would not buy it if you have Mario 3D World already. Bowser's Fury is not worth it, and you can beat it in like 4 hours. But it is really fun. It's a really classic. If they sold it separately for like 15 bucks on the eShop, I would buy it because it's worth it. But besides that, I wouldn't buy this whole game. I paid $60 for this, and that's a scam. But yeah, awesome. This was in a game collection update I did, but awesome game. I give it an 8 out of 10. I loved it. It was awesome. Immortals Phoenix Rising is the next game. This game is a Breath of the Wild clone with some like beat 'em up stuff in there. You can definitely tell it's made by the team that made Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And they took aspects from Breath of the Wild, put it in here. This game's awesome. It's all about Greek mythology, which I think is interesting already. And I got the PS5 version, so I got the updated graphics, the better frame rates, the 4K resolution. It looked amazing. This game, I highly recommend. I highly recommend playing it, though, on a PS4 Pro or PS5. The Switch, this will make your Switch explode, and it's going to look like garbage. But it's really fun. I highly recommend it. It's a lot of the same Breath of the Wild stuff with a little bit different stuff in it. It's different enough to make it interesting and worth playing through by itself. I wouldn't say it's like a beat-for-beat Zelda clone, but if on its own, it stands up. It's really fun. It's really interesting. The characters are really good. There's DLC coming for it actively right now, and what I liked about it is that even though Ubisoft added cosmetic stuff you can buy, there's no physical effect on the game. It's not like pay to win. You can't make your character busted. So, really cool. I like this game a lot. I give this game like an 8.5 out of 10. I'll give it a 9 out of 10 to give it a little bit more than Mario because I enjoyed this game a lot, and I beat it really fast. It was really fun. Final game on my list. I had to hit that 10-minute mark, boys. You already know. I got 30 seconds to 10 minutes. Controversial game. You already saw it. Controversial game. A lot of people hate this. A lot of people are pissed off at the devs. I understand why. I was a little disappointed and pissed off too. I went all in. I bought the Xbox version of this game and the PlayStation version of this game. I was all in. Even though it tanked, I still love it. I'm glad I bought both copies because my Xbox One's still sealed. But this game, I think, did exactly, not everything I wanted it to, but it was enough to make me really enjoy the experience and really appreciate the game. and solidified it into some of my favorite games of all time. It didn't make my top 10 list, but I think if they make a sequel to this game or continue to upgrade it like they did to The Witcher 3 and just make it better, then I think it could break my top 10 for sure. Cyberpunk 2077. This game is awesome. I really wish that it did what it said it was going to do, and I really wish CD Projekt Red didn't screw us out and lie to us. But besides that, with what's there, I enjoyed it. It reminded me a lot of just the average Fallout, like New Vegas, Fallout 3, like game flow with looting the items and selling the weapons and all that stuff. I really like the story. The story is really interesting. And the choices that you have to make some brutal choices. And there's some stuff that happens in the game that happens right in front of your character because it's all first person that you're like, wow, this is insane to, you know, see just face to face. The trials that you get put through, the situations you get put into. The story itself is just absolutely brutal. It's brutal. And I don't know, it's everything I want it to be story-wise. Gameplay-wise, I think is where this game is flawed. The story, I think, is a masterpiece. I think it's amazing, but that alone can't save the game. The game looks gorgeous if you're playing it on higher hardware, like PlayStation 5 or a PC or Xbox Series X. But if you're playing it on older hardware like Xbox One S, Xbox One X, it's going to look like crap. It's going to look absolutely terrible, and it's unplayable. And even while I was playing on the PlayStation 5, I was having bugs. There's a sequence where I was driving in the desert to do this quest or whatever, and there's supposed to be an NPC on another motorcycle following you, and you're driving, right? And the other NPC disappears, and I'm still driving, and then she, like, teleports right in front of me and spawns right in front of me, and my motorcycle hits hers, and I fly off of it. And now I don't have a motorcycle. My motorcycle is broke. I had to run the whole way for the quest because my motorcycle was broken. It's like, that's ridiculous. There's no reason that should have happened. There's another thing that happened to me where I was walking in a junkyard. I looked at my inventory, exited my inventory, took a step. I must have no-clipped into some garbage on the ground and died instantly. So there's a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed with this game. I think with updates, with CD Projekt Red not giving up on this game, and maybe with DLC, maybe if they earn like everyone's trust again to purchase that, this game is a masterpiece. But until that happens, until they fix a lot of this stuff, and until they listen to the fans and do exactly what the fans want, this game won't break my top 10. But I give it a 9.5. A 9.5 for me. Just for the story. The gameplay was pretty good. I liked it. I just got immersed in it. I'd sit down, I'd put super big stereo headphones on, and I'd just play. I wouldn't care about anything else. The music, the environments, the story, the people, everything got me super soaked into it. And even though there were a ton of flaws and a ton of things wrong with it, I mean, I'm a day one Bethesda fan. I played Fallout 4 on day one, all right? I saw some crazy stuff. So this stuff is worse. It was objectively worse, but it was still fun, and I think it's worth a playthrough if you can handle a lot of the tough themes that it tackles in this game. And if you can get past the glitches and stuff like that. And if you have a proper system to play it on. If you have a PlayStation 5 and you don't mind some bugs and stuff in your games, play this. I had this game crash on me 20 times, and I still went through and beat it. It's awesome. It's a really good game. And yeah, so that's my top. That's my games that I played for the first quarter of 2021. So let's do a quick recap. Sirus Wrath, 5 out of 10. Digimon Cyber Sleuth, 6.5 out of 10. Super Mario 3D World Bowser's Fury, 8 out of 10. Immortals Phoenix Rising, 8.5 out of 10. We'll do Cyberpunk 2077, 9 out of 10. So, controversial opinions, I know. I think Mario games could never be bad. It deserves the 8 out of 10. Digimon, I might be a little bit harsh on it, but the time commitment you have to make for what you get out of it in the story is just absolutely terrible. And Sirus Wrath was pretty bad. It was fun, and the parts where it was fun, it was really fun. But the parts that it was bad, it was really bad. So, and it just had that weird, like, I don't know how to describe it. You play it, you'll see what I'm saying. Immortals Phoenix Rising was really good. It was unexpected. It came out of nowhere for me, and then just got up there. It won't ever cap my top 10 because it's just not there. But it's really fun for what it is. And Cyberpunk 2077 could break my top 10. I really loved the game. I spent a lot of time in the game. But the most Cyberpunk thing ever happened to me in the game was I was in the end credits and it crashed at the end credits. So there needs to be some stuff fixed about it. But those are my top games that I played first quarter of 2021. Let me know if you played any of these games, what you're playing, what you think of what you're playing, and let me know if you disagree with my opinion. You disagree with my opinion, I mean, that's fine. Cyberpunk 2077 is the best game of all time. There's nothing you can tell me otherwise. Okay, bye.